Okay, um, I'm getting ready to start. This is the container I'm going to put it in because I know the proportions I need for just me. I try to make my solution. You see the comparison to these are a nice, this is a nice size lime. So I use two and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. But this, you can see the size of this. I just rinsed it out. It's a plastic container at the top. This is how we start. Get your container, get your limes, and then you're going to start rolling your limes. This is how much I'm going to use. This is going to swell up and pretty much fill up this bowl. But I'm going to wash it first. You want to wash and pull, let the water. And I'm using my filter. My filter is a pretty strong, you see this, you've seen that before. It's a pretty strong filtering of the tap water. So I use that. You're going to really, when you start washing it, this will loosen up. And you just want to get any kind of matter out of it, salt, debris. You just want to wash it and take your time to wash it. This is, once I take it out of my bag, I put it in a Ziploc bag just to assure the freshness of what's remaining. Remember, this is just for one person. This is how I'm making enough for one person to last a week to 10 days. Okay, you can see how the water is starting to turn a little cloudy, and this is going to soften up a little. It takes a minute for it to soften up. And, you just kind of see how I'm kind of squeezing it. And then as it squeezes together and loosens up, you kind of dig down in and make sure there's no debris. After it really starts, because this is going to swell up, after it really swells up, if you miss some of the debris, because I'm going to do this a couple of times, I want to rinse it, like you can kind of see some of the debris coming out of it. Because this is just straight out the ocean. You want to rinse it out. It has a kind of an ocean smell, and the lime is going to cut into that smell and that taste. Now you use the lime because the lime is more alkaline than lemon. Lemon takes it to a more acidic place that's not as good. I might put a little bit more in here because this part, you don't have any of this in yours. I can see yours. I bought this last year, so it's a little bit hard, and it's going to take a little bit more. Whereas, like, this is what yours looks like. And you still want to just kind of go through this and get all, you see this? You want to get all of that salt and stuff out and just soak it. I'm going to pour this out, and then I'm going to put fresh water in and I'm going to rinse it at least 3 times. I just want you to see this water before I pour it out. That's the first rinse. Okay, I'm going to fill this back up and rinse it again by rubbing. You want to rub, especially in these little connecting points. It's like overlapping and twisting. You just really want to just kind of work through that. Some of it will untwine itself, some of it won't. But you see that? That's the debris, and you want to, just clean it. Okay. This is the second rinse. You see how this stuff is starting to come out? As this is loosening up, anything that's caught in between is very important to wash it, to get whatever debris that's in this water from the ocean. See there? It's still cloudy, and you see the little particles moving around in there. That's sea stuff. Now that's some of the moss. Okay. Now as you can see, it's starting to swell already. You see that? And look at the water, it's clearing up. You squeeze it, and I take, I'm using one of my hands to film this, but I take it and rub it together like you do a washcloth or something, or a piece of fabric that you're trying to clean. I rub it together, and see, it's looking much better. So yeah, 2 or 3 times is usually enough. You see that those little particles and stuff. I don't know what that is. I want it out of my moss. So that's what that is. This is rinse number 3. Here's the last step before you let it set for 10 to 12 hours. Okay? It is now 5 o'clock now. So I'm going to let mine set at least until 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe a little bit more, but I have squeezed the juice out of my lime. You see where my water level is? You want to fully cover. You can see it's already swelling up. It's not as tiny as it was in the beginning. Okay? All right, so this is a whole lime, and I'm going to leave the rinds in there. I took my knife and juiced it out, and it smells so good. And then I'm going to cover it. I have a container. I'm going to cover it, and as you see, this is what it's looking like right now. So remember that, because in 12 hours it's going to be even fatter. Okay? Just look at the lusciousness after soaking for several hours. Actually, I started at 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It is now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's almost 24 hours, and it's fine. I'm going to strain this water off, and I will show you the blending process and how to do that. Now, this is after straining the water off. I'm letting it drain just a little bit more. And I'm going to take half of this and put it in the blender, and I'll let you see where I put the water level for my blending. At a very high speed. All right. Look at this consistency. That's what the amount of water, of course, again, that's clean water, some type of filtered water or alkaline water. This is what I like, because once you put this in the refrigerator, it's going to get thick. Sometimes I have done it where it was so thick it was like jelly. I don't like it that thick. I like it smooth like this. I sweeten individual amounts. I usually do 3 to 4 tablespoons a day, and I'll put a little honey in it, or I'll put it in a smoothie and sweeten it that way, or just spoon it and eat it. I enjoy the taste of it, like if I'm on the run. But yes, this is the consistency it starts with. This is half of the amount that I've prepared, and I've used half a lime, the juice of half a lime, and I'm going to use the other half in the other half of what's left over. Okay, this is the remainder, and I covered it, but it's a little bit thicker. So that's why I put it all into the same jar. It's just slightly thicker than the first. And it was not exactly half, but you put it all in the same container. I'll show you that in a minute. And then you put it in the refrigerator. But I put the remainder, covered it with water, and then squeezed the juice of the lime. This is the entire amount that I prepared. This should last me at least 10 days, maybe a little bit more. You try not to keep your moss, your prepared moss, more than 2 weeks. Ideally a week to 10 days. And you just, you can stir this in soup. You can stir it in your smoothie. Sometimes I eat it just like applesauce, or I'll put some raisins in it and add some honey to it. But I just make sure I get no less than 3 tablespoons into my body every day. It cuts my appetite and it nourishes my body with all of the minerals outside of the other supplements that I take. I don't take a whole lot of supplements because I don't want to overload my kidneys. So there you have it. That's my process of making my sea moss gel. This is a honey jar. I keep my honey jars so that I can put my soups and stuff in. And this is going straight into the refrigerator. All right, bon appetit. After sitting in the refrigerator nearly 24 hours, it's like applesauce. And that's what I like.